Have you ever thought about what's known about you? It's 2016, and we're almost halfway through the decade where we've gone from being mostly mysterious to completely known. I'm a data artist, and I make work about the future of data about you. And rather than think about it as just sort of creepy, I'm going to coax you into the idea that it's going to be irresistible. So I had started making work about time. And I knew that if you really want to study something, you measure it. And so I started keeping track of all of my time. And it's ridiculously hard. So I Google it to get some help. And I found this guy, Ben Lipkowitz. It was like, he'd been measuring all of his time. I stole it. I scraped it. I took everything. And I started to make work from his data. And it was like, okay. I can do this. I can figure out how to measure my time while I'm sleeping. So I got a little gadget and started, I started measuring my sleep, and the thing that really, it really shocked me was when I got real data about myself was I wasn't who I thought I was. I thought I was a really good sleeper, and it turns out I was kind of just average. And I got this thing, I wore it on my forehead, I measured my sleep for almost 1,000 nights, and I didn't want to be the only one, so I got one of these for my husband. And he goes, Laurie, I'm a terrible sleeper, just watch. Well, it turns out he's an amazing sleeper, but he only remembers the bad. And I think, oh my God, that's so him. What if you can kind of measure your personality with this? So waking, sleeping, I grabbed all this data, I put it in a show in LA, it got a ton of press, and the company that made that little sleep guy finds me, and I got a chance to see a whole bunch of data from a lot of people. And it was like, wow. It's so specific, it's so unique to them. This is like a fingerprint. This is, it was like portraiture. So I measured everything. I went crazy. I started to really look at patterns in the data and think of them as this essence of you, almost like a neural Fibonacci. And I started to make them in really large spaces. And after a while, all these cut and drawn patterns, they're in my studio, and I'd had this idea as an artist that if you find something that's real, sometimes it turns out to be real science. I mean, you actually get really proven correct. So I thought, all right, I'm gonna really pay attention. I'm gonna really notice. And the thing I started to feel was that these patterns, they felt familiar. They felt like me. They felt human, they felt organic, they felt personable. Personable. But it was comforting. And I thought, well, what if it turns out that all this data that's gathered about us, right, it's abstracted, it's played back to us in the spaces that we live. What if it turns out this is a shortcut to mindfulness? It's technology to boost our immune system. Because maybe our brain can't tell the difference between meditative self-reflection and the intake of a data selfie. It's good, right? This is the way an artist makes science. And then I thought, no. The thing that's going to really cause it to flip between creepy to irresistible is overcoming this feeling of powerlessness. 85% of us are uncomfortable with the data that's gathered about us. Data and something other survey, I forget, just fielded this survey 2 months ago. And so 85% of us don't like it, but 66% of us have thrown in the towel. We've given up. I'm getting measured, and all I'm getting is some lousy ads. But what if it turns out that all that data turns into art in the spaces that we live, and the bonus is it fixes our immune system? Think about like large, synthetic biology, biofabricated. Anyway, come talk to me. I'm starting to work on predictive data. Thank you.